KMBC 9 First News starts now.
Today is the First Alert Weather Impact Day. I'll show you when showers and thunderstorms, 2 rounds, will keep you inside and what the rain will do to this afternoon's humidity.
It's a brutal, assaultive, traumatizing, abusive life.
Plus, federal agents stake out of the metro to rescue victims of sex trafficking and the number of survivors who are now safe.
If you haven't started back to school shopping just yet, now could be the perfect time. Missouri's tax-free weekend kicks off today. We are live with expert tips to help you get the most bang for your buck. Clock ticking over to 6 o'clock on your Friday. Thanks so much for joining us on First News. I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Matt Evans. Nick Bender here with our First Alert forecast. And Nick, it is another day kind of like the rest of the days we've had this week.
This will be the 7th consecutive day of measurable rain here in Kansas City. And we have numerous showers that are developing along and south of the Missouri River here, especially south of 50 Highway. See scattered downpours from Ottawa, Homewood, Richmond, Garnett, eastward over I-49 into central Missouri. Here in Kansas City, the heavier downpours are just north of downtown, up near Kearney, Crystal Lakes, Excelsior Springs over the river there, Blue Mill, Sibley, Orick, Buckner, lifting toward the north toward Polo and Bramer, and then a larger area of heavy rain and thunderstorms continues to move east toward Manhattan, Topeka, and then eventually Kansas City. Could reach the metro between 8 and 10 o'clock this morning. So it is a morning you're going to want your rain gear again for those scattered showers and thunderstorms. The second round of storms may develop and pop up between 4 and 8 o'clock this evening. Some of the storms today could produce gusty wind and locally heavy rain, which may lead to flash flooding. Lots of water vapor in the air, high humidity and foggy. 5-mile visibility here in Kansas City. We're at 74 degrees. We look at our 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City. Scattered thunderstorms are likely through 11 o'clock this morning. Then there will be a dry time today, Jamie, and then thunderstorm chances returning or increasing between 4 and 8 o'clock this evening.
All right, appreciate the heads up. Thanks, Nick. The good news is we're not really seeing the weather's impact on the roadways right now. Some roads may be a little bit wet, a little bit slick, but we're not seeing any accidents or stalled vehicles reported. Want to remind you to keep it slow on bridges and overpasses when it's wet outside. More than 200 survivors of sex trafficking have been rescued after a 3-day FBI operation.
That includes 4 kids and 3 adults right here in the metro. That was part of a national effort called Operation Cross Country. From Overland Park to Gladstone to Wichita, multiple police agencies were there to help federal agents find survivors. They'll need help overcoming their trauma and moving on with their lives.
You are not alone. You do not have to remain a victim. There are people out there like us and others that will provide a safe place for you and an opportunity to recover, and then an opportunity to be empowered to a new life.
That was Dr. Rodney Hammer with Rehope, one of several local organizations that helps survivors in their recovery. The FBI says 1 person was arrested on local charges in this operation. You can call or text the numbers on your screen if you suspect human trafficking, 1-888-373-7888. That'll take you to the National Human Trafficking Hotline.
A judge has sentenced a Clay County woman found guilty in the 2 deaths of her 2 children. Jenna Bodeker will spend 58 years in prison. Bodeker left her 2 kids inside of a hot car in 2018. Clay County prosecutors say the children died of hypothermia after being left inside the hot car with inadequate care. The Chiefs fan known as Chief Sahalik will appear in a Kansas City courtroom today. Federal prosecutors say Xavier Babadouar was on the run for months after robbing banks all throughout the Midwest. He's also accused of laundering money through bank accounts. He was arrested in California last month. We'll, of course, have updates on today's hearing right here on KMBC 9 and on KMBC.com. Today, attorneys will meet in the Kansas City courthouse downtown to review the case of Tasha Hafs. Hafs was charged with first-degree murder and armed criminal action in the death of her son, Carvel Stevens. Court documents say Hafs called 911 in February of 2022 and said the devil was trying to attack her. When police got to her house, they found her son dead. In May of 2022, a hearing found her mentally incompetent for her case to proceed. She was committed to the Missouri Department of Mental Health to try to restore competency.
Missouri is making major investments in railroad safety. This comes after the Amtrak derailment that killed 4 people in Minden, Missouri a year ago. $50 million will go towards safety measures at 47 crossings in the state. That money will also give some communities more signs on the road.
The Missouri Highway and Transportation Commission told us to do it better.
We can improve safety not only for Minden but throughout Missouri.
The state says it'll take about 3 to 5 years to follow through on that plan. There are 1,400 crossings in Missouri right now that don't have lights or gates. This week, the NTSB released its final report about the Amtrak derailment in Minden. We've got a link to that report on our website, KMBC.com.
And we're learning more about a rail crossing near Belton where a train collided with a semi on Tuesday. MoDOT mentioned that crossing near 187th Street in a 2022 report. The department identified this as a potential safety risk because it's considered a humped crossing. MoDOT says trailers can get stuck here. That's exactly what happened on Tuesday. At least 3 people were hurt, including a 12-year-old, when a train hit the semi's trailer. Back to school is coming up fast, and it's already about time to stock up on school supplies.
Yeah, you can do that this weekend and save some cash while you're doing it. KMBC 9's Rob Hughes live with what you need to know about Missouri's tax-free weekend. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Matt and Jamie. There's nothing special you have to do to qualify for those tax-free savings, like if you're going to be shopping here at the Walmart in Blue Springs. All the tax-free items include things like the back-to-school items, all apparel, some of the laptops, diapers, and even wipes all qualify. What you do is when you go in the store, any Walmart, you'll see a QR code, and that will give you a list of all the back-to-school items for any school in the Kansas City area. And Walmart, their top 14 back-to-school items are going to be the same prices as last year, all the hot ticket items under $13. Another program they do is teachers can register for items for their classrooms, which will allow anyone interested to buy them. And the Blue Springs manager says that it's important to give the whole community a chance to help our teachers.
Saves teachers money out of their pocket that they have to spend on their classrooms. They can register for items. Parents, Good Samaritans, community involvement, or community leaders can buy things for their classroom.
And by the way, there's also Century shopping hours on Saturdays. That is from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is a calmer environment. It's designed for people who live with sensitivities. They'll do things like the lights go down, also the screens go black, and the music turns off. We're live in Blue Springs. I'm Rob Hughes, KMBC 9 News.
Rob, thank you. Make KMBC 9 your home for back-to-school coverage. We've got a list of items included in Missouri's tax-free weekend, and the cities and counties taking part on our website at KMBC.com. We'll also be adding some more resources for families as we get closer to the school year.
And because we're getting ready to go back to school, let's go ahead and check in with Nick because this is the final weekend of summer for some kids.
Yeah, about ready for those school bus stop forecasts, Nick.
Yeah, it's been like a swamp lately. You know, we needed the rain. And in true, Midwest fashion, we got the rain, then we got too much rain. And now we have a flash flood potential as we head into the weekend. This morning, scattered thunderstorms are likely, and scattered thunderstorms are likely this afternoon. That's going to be between 4 and 8 o'clock. So it's not going to be a washout afternoon, but the rain that's going to come in this morning, once it really does start, the heavier rain, it could last for several hours. So you're going to need your umbrellas for today, and it'll also be incredibly humid. And those thunderstorm chances will continue overnight. This is a pattern that we've been stuck in for the better part of a week. Daily and nightly chances of showers and thunderstorms, and that does not change over the weekend. There's a chance of storms in the morning and then a slight chance Saturday afternoon, not a washout day. Perhaps the most likely time for rain and thunderstorms will be Saturday evening and Saturday night, and that includes the risk of severe thunderstorms into early Sunday morning. Johnny, it all changes. The temperatures, the humidity, that changes on Sunday.
Well, it can only go in one direction, I'm pretty sure, so we'll hope to see some of that relief at the end of the weekend. Thanks so much, Nick, as we take a look at your first alert traffic. It is 6:07, and this isn't the way to start the day. It is going to be eastbound I-70, pretty much the east side of the downtown loop, headed southbound, the ramp that then takes you from there to eastbound I-70. It's completely closed. We do have construction through here. Looks like an SUV involved, and really not too sure of the circumstances here, but it looks like a tow truck on the scene, but I don't see any police. So right now, this might have just happened, but it's completely shut down. And so those on the east side of the loop trying to get eastbound on I-70 just sitting there on the east side of the loop, and now the south side of the loop, same story, 670 eastbound starting to back up across the south side of the loop to the southwest corner. So all of that means that those trying to get eastbound from a couple of areas there are seeing a pretty slow go, and right now, of course, not moving on the east side of the loop. No word when they're going to clear this either. Looks like it just happened. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. And the Biden administration can continue stopping migrants who pass through another country from seeking asylum here in the U.S. The policy was blocked last week by a district court judge, but yesterday, the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled to reinstate it. Democrats and immigration advocates have criticized the policy, which is similar to the Trump-era policy that had replaced it. Former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to charges accusing him of attempting to overturn the 2020 election.
Federal prosecutors are pushing for a speedy trial while Trump's legal team plans to delay it. KMBC 9's Amy Liu in our Washington bureau this morning with the next steps in this case.
The next hearing, which would set a tentative trial date, is happening later this month as his lawyers plan their defense and suggest moving the trial somewhere else. Trump is facing 4 felony counts related to his efforts to undo the presidential election, appearing at D.C. District Court yesterday before a magistrate judge. Our own Christopher Salas was one of the few reporters inside that hearing, watching Trump sit quietly and calmly as the judge read the charges. Sitting not too far away, special counsel Jack Smith, who is among those asking for a speedy trial. But Trump and his lawyers say it is, quote, absurd to move quickly on the case given this substantial amount of evidence. After leaving the courthouse, Trump headed to the airport back to his plane to New Jersey, stopping briefly to comment on the case.
This is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America. This is the persecution of the person that's leading by very, very substantial numbers in the Republican primary and leading Biden by a lot. So if you can't beat him, you persecute him or you prosecute him. We can't let this happen in America.
Trump and his lawyers call the case an attack on his right to free speech and to challenge the election they say his attorneys told him was stolen. Meanwhile, Trump himself is suggesting moving the trial to somewhere like West Virginia, where more of his supporters live. In Washington, I'm Amy Liu.
Well, Trump has been indicted this year in another 2 cases. He faces charges for falsifying business records and for holding government documents with classified markings and refusing to return them.
If you've ever gotten a random package, you probably thought it's a mistake.
But it turns out it could be a scam. Next on First News, the steps you need to take to protect yourself if you get something you didn't order.
With back to school around the corner, doctors say we could see an increase of some common illnesses. Expert advice for keeping your kids healthy no matter their age.
Today is an impact day. Stay connected with First Alert Weather. KMBC 9 News, leading the way.
It is 6:14 on your Friday morning. As we take a live look over Kansas City, you can barely see some light peeking through those clouds. Today is a first alert weather impact day. Nick is going to show us when 2 waves of showers and thunderstorms will keep you inside, plus how the rain will affect this oppressive humidity. News Chopper 9's Johnny Rollins has your first alert traffic.
Hey, Jamie, we're still looking at this situation in the southeast corner at the downtown loop, and I kind of want to clarify what I said a while ago. It was it's going to be southbound, the east side of the loop, headed to eastbound I-70. That's the ramp, and then as you get onto I-70 is where we had this accident. And I'm wondering if we're going to see some emergency equipment get in here other than motorist assist in the form of maybe an ambulance. Might have somebody hurt with this. But the bottom line right now is that that ramp is shut down. Now, it does not affect, and I alluded to the fact that maybe 670 coming off of the south side of the loop to eastbound I-70 was backing up. That is not correct. So the south side of the loop eastbound looks good to eastbound I-70. East side of the loop southbound to eastbound I-70 is not looking that good. So a lot of folks are just opting to continue southbound, maybe to the south side of the loop, find a better way to find it to eastbound I-70, but the east side of the loop not backing up to I-35 or the Bond Bridge or anything like that yet. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. Have you ever gotten a package you didn't order?
Well, sometimes it's a mistake, but it could also be a scam. It's called a brushing scam. The goal is to cheat the online review system. If third-party sellers send their items to random people, it gets flagged as a verified purchase. That makes them look legitimate.
With that stamp of approval, boy, they can do a lot of things. They can go online and post positive reviews on your behalf. They can manipulate and skew a ratings and review system to gain more customers and ultimately gain more profit for the company as well.
Brushing scams also put your personal information at risk. If you get a random package, let the retailer know, change your passwords, and monitor your bank account. School districts and groups around the metro are coming together to make sure kids have what they need to start the school year.
And there's a lot of different events you can take advantage of this weekend. Tomorrow, the Kansas City Public School District is holding a back-to-school drive. It's a drive-through event for students. It'll run from 10 to 3 at East High School. KCPS students can get backpacks, supplies, vaccines, and health screenings. The KCK Public School District is holding its back-to-school fair at a new location, running from 8 to 1 tomorrow. This will be at the central office on North 59th. Students living in Wyandotte County can stop by to get supplies, backpacks, hygiene kits, books, and more. Parents do need to come with their kids and bring proof of residency.
Well, kids heading back to class means that we could see a rise in sickness again. The most common illnesses that can spread in classrooms are COVID, colds, flu, strep throat. Doctors say kids 3 and up should come in at least once a year for a wellness check.
Just in general, it's really important, for teens to have a little bit more in-depth conversation with their pediatrician. We screen for all kinds of important things that range from psych and anxiety all the way to, appropriate growth in adolescence, and everything in between.
Doctors say parents should keep up to date on their kids' vaccinations and consider also getting a COVID-19 vaccine booster.
A CDC advisory panel says all babies under 8 months old should get a new shot to protect against severe RSV. Nirsevimab is the first product available to protect all newborns against RSV. The FDA approved it last month, and yesterday the advisory panel voted unanimously to recommend it. It'll be added to the CDC's childhood immunization schedule once the director signs off. The Royals, they are keeping their longest win streak intact this season.
Yeah, amazing to see it. They wowed the crowd last night when they swept the Mets 2 sweeps in a row. The Royals got on the board first, kept the Mets scoreless for 8 innings. Part of that thanks to an amazing catch by Michael Massey in the 5th right there. The boys in blue pile it on, win this one by a landslide, 9-2. Bobby Witt Jr. continues to perform well, and the team's manager singing his praises.
We're seeing him at an elite level right now. Taking hits where they're given, displaying the power, the speed on the bases. I think he's over 30 stolen bases now and 19 homers. So, he's probably in a pretty rare group there.
That makes 6 wins in a row for the Royals. Today, they start a new series in the city of brotherly love. First pitch against the Philadelphia Phillies is at 6:05 tonight.
A local organization is honoring a soldier's legacy with the Spencer C. Duncan Make It Count Foundation 5K tomorrow. The race is at New Century Air Center and it raises money for veteran causes in the area. Same-day registration starts at 6 in the morning. The race starts at 7:30. The Spencer C. Duncan Make It Count Foundation is named after a soldier who died in Afghanistan in 2011 when his helicopter was shot down. Time now is 6:19.
And when we are talking about this weekend, Nick, are we going to see more of this same kind of pattern that we've been in the last few days?
We will. It's going to hold through at least Sunday. Daily, nightly chances of showers and thunderstorms. It's an impact day. We have rain and storms already on first alert radar. These scattered showers all across the Kansas City area, especially just to the north and south of downtown. It's kind of outside the 435 loop right now. Adrian, Butler, Rich Hill here on the Missouri side, Ottawa, Richmond, Garnett there on the Kansas side, all moving into central Missouri. See this band of downpours and thunderstorms stretching from Higginsville, Lexington, Richmond, Crystal Lakes, Excelsior Springs there on 92 highway to Kearney, lifting north and east. But for now, there's no rain or storms inside the 435 loop, but there's plenty of water vapor and fog and humidity. Our next batch of heavy rain and thunderstorms here into central and north central Kansas, moving eastward toward Topeka and Kansas City. If it keeps its speed and it keeps together, it'll bring heavier rain to Kansas City between 8 and 10 o'clock this morning. Until then, we have low clouds, fog. It's a damp, humid morning. It's 74 degrees. Visibility is reduced. It's down to 5 miles at the airport. It could be even lower in your neighborhood. 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City. Scattered off and on downpours and thunderstorms are likely through about 11 o'clock this morning, and then a drier stretch for early this afternoon, and then storms may redevelop between 4 and 8 o'clock this evening. It'll be another day where heat index values reach up to 100 degrees south of the metro. There in Ottawa, Lacine, Butler, Clinton, and Warsaw. It'll still be very humid in northern Missouri. We just won't have the temperatures to go along with that humidity, so our heat index values capping out in the mid and upper 80s. A chance of severe thunderstorms over the weekend, so we've been highlighting this for the last couple of days. This is Saturday evening and Saturday night. Right now it's kind of low to medium confidence in a risk of a severe thunderstorm that may produce damaging wind. We'll also need to monitor the flash flooding potential over the weekend. We've had nearly 7 straight days of measurable rain here in Kansas City. So that has both eaten away at the drought and now gone past the drought. So now the ground is saturated, so it's easier to flood. Sunday afternoon, 81 degrees. You're going to start to notice a change in the air over the weekend, Matt, on Sunday into early next week. Less humidity and highs in the 70s and 80s.
All right, Nick, thank you. Did you miss the Eras Tour the first time around? Well, now you got a second chance if you're willing to travel a little bit. Next, Taylor Swift's 2024 U.S. touring schedule.
USA is back on the field for the next World Cup match early Sunday morning.
Very early, actually really more like overnight. They'll play Sweden at 4 a.m. We're in the knockout round now, so every team gets one chance to move on. If Team USA tops Sweden, they'll play either Japan or Norway next Friday. The Kansas City Current, Sporting KC, and the Power and Light District are all hosting a watch party for the game as it happens. The doors at KC Live open at 3 a.m. Tickets are free to reserve on SeatGeek right now.
How about some tickets that are not free to reserve? Taylor Swift, she's announced new U.S. tour dates for next year. She's playing 3 shows each in Miami, New Orleans, and Indianapolis. And then she's also performing 6 shows in Toronto. Verified fan registration is open right now on Ticketmaster.
From free tickets to very expensive tickets to medium tickets. Ed Sheeran playing at Arrowhead Stadium tomorrow. Parking gates open at 3, stadium gates open at 4:30. Opening acts will take the stage at 6. Tickets still available ranging from $25 to $99 before the fees. Sheeran is using in-the-round seating, meaning there are no obstructed views. This will be his first visit to Kansas City since 2018.
We have a heads up for Evergy customers. There's some changes coming down the pike. The mandatory new plans the company's rolling out starting later this year.
At 6:26, we take a live look outside to, well, yes, more humidity, more clouds, more chances of storms. Nick has your full First Alert forecast next.
KMBC 9 First News starts now.
Today is the First Alert Weather Impact Day. I'll show you when 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms will keep you inside and how the rain will affect this afternoon's humidity.
On January 6th, we already knew who directed the attack and the mob onto the Capitol.
Former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to charges accusing him of trying to overturn the 2020 election. The next steps in this historic case.
Plus, Missouri's back-to-school tax-free weekend officially kicks off this morning. The necessities you can save on at stores across the metro right now. Good morning, 6:30 right now on your Friday morning. We appreciate you waking up with us here on First News. I'm Matt Evans.
And I'm Jamie Weiss. Nick Bender's here with your First Alert forecast. And I mean, this is the last weekend of summer for some kiddos, and rain.
Again.
Yeah, again. So just pretty much wash, rinse, repeat.
This will be 7 consecutive days
Wow.
if we get measurable rain at KCI, which I think we will. And we have numerous showers and thunderstorms all across the metro right now. They're hit and miss downpours, so it's not a wall of water. But those downpours, efficient rain producers because there's so much water vapor in the atmosphere. It's almost like tropical-like downpours. You can see here all around Kansas City. Now closer here to the metro, inside the 435 loop, we don't have any downpours or thunderstorms right now, but we have plenty of water vapor, which is leading to just low clouds and fog. Now, if we look to the west here, this is a big area of heavy rain and thunderstorms that's just been moving along I-70 here in Kansas. It's moving eastward toward Topeka. See some showers out ahead of that line, and it's all moving towards Kansas City. And if it holds together, it'll reach the metro between 8 and 10 o'clock this morning. So that could bring a heavier bout of rain to the metro through about lunchtime. A second bout of thunderstorms may develop between 4 and 8 o'clock this evening. So there's 2 windows of opportunity for storms today. Gusty wind and locally heavy rain that could even lead to flash flooding are the main concerns. Low clouds, foggy. It's a damp, humid morning. And if we get that rain, it's just going to add to that humidity this afternoon. On our 12-hour forecast in Kansas City, 86 degrees. But Johnny, we know how this story goes. 86 will feel more like 96, especially if we do get additional storms later today.
Yeah, all right, Nick, thanks so much. And these pop-up storms this morning, just impossible to predict where you're going to get wet. I mean, they pop up and then dissipate, and a brief deluge, and it's over. So we'll keep track of that for you. Dry here on the southeast corner of the downtown loop. Not really sure what occurred here with an SUV that ended up sideways, completely blocking this ramp from the east side of the loop southbound to eastbound I-70. They have just reopened this. I mean, just a couple of minutes ago, started getting one lane by. Not a real big backup across the east side of the loop back towards I-35. So right now, I don't think it's going to be any kind of a factor here pretty soon once they get traffic cleared out that's backed up behind it. Do have a tow truck on the scene, a couple of them, as a matter of fact, and looks like we'll be out of there hopefully within the next 15 minutes, half an hour. Until then, though, we are seeing improvement with that ramp reopening. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. And the good news is that's really the only activity we've seen across the metro. Drive times looking pretty good. No slowdowns to report. This morning, President Trump is home after pleading not guilty to all 4 charges accusing him of trying to overturn the 2020 election.
And the judge promised Trump a fair trial, but is warning him to lay low. ABC's Im Nguyen has the latest from Washington.
For the 3rd time, former President Donald Trump, a criminal defendant in court. The extraordinary scene unfolding with Trump standing, himself pleading not guilty to charges that he and his allies plotted to try and overturn the 2020 election. Special counsel Jack Smith, who led the wide-ranging investigation into January 6th, seen on the far left of this sketch, at times looking at Trump, who at one point stared directly back. Officers who defended the Capitol during the riot also in court.
It's a necessary step on the road, the path to justice and accountability.
On January 6th, we already knew who directed the attack and the mob onto the Capitol.
Trump charged with 4 election-related felonies, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and conspiracy against rights, meaning he allegedly tried to stop Americans from exercising their right to vote. If convicted on all charges, Trump could face more than 50 years in prison.
This is a persecution of a political opponent. This was never supposed to happen in America.
Trump was released on conditions that he not discuss the case with anyone who may be a witness, which includes former Vice President Pence, who the indictment says was pressured by Trump to reject legitimate electoral votes. Cameras are not allowed inside federal courtrooms, but some Democratic lawmakers are pushing to change that for Trump's trial. More than a dozen signing this letter to the federal judiciary, writing, "Given the historic nature of the charges, it is hard to imagine a more powerful circumstance for televised proceedings." Trump's next court date is scheduled for August 28th. Notably, that's just 5 days after the first Republican primary debate. Em Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
Back here at home, Mayor Quinton Lucas, I'll let you pick this one up, Matt.
Yeah, they've introduced 2 new gun restrictions for Kansas City, Missouri. The first one would prevent people younger than 18 from buying ammunition without parental consent. The other would ban something called switches, which allows guns to fire faster. That was just the first reading before the city council yesterday. No final decisions have been made. A Grandview man has been charged in a shooting that left one person dead that happened on Wednesday morning. Cameron Harper charged with a second-degree murder charge and weapons charges. He was arrested after Grandview police found a man shot to death inside a car. No word yet on a possible motive there. Kansas City police are also investigating 2 shootings that happened within 30 minutes of this shooting. They believe the incidents may be linked, but Harper has not been connected to those cases. A Kansas City, Missouri man has been sentenced for illegal possession of the gun used in the deadly shooting of an off-duty firefighter in October of last year. A judge ordered 24-year-old Javon Taylor to serve 7 years in federal prison without parole. You may remember Anthony Santee got into an argument with Taylor for disrespecting the cashier inside an Independence gas station. Santee was shot and killed by Taylor's girlfriend with that illegal firearm. Prosecutors did not file charges against the woman, citing self-defense.
A grass fire caused some issues for people on their drive home yesterday evening. This is what the scene looked like near I-35 and Front Street. Some people had to slow down on the entrance ramp as that cloud of smoke grew. The Kansas City Fire Department tells us the fire started at a homeless camp. Luckily, no one was hurt. If you're an Evergy customer in Missouri, you probably got an email that looks a lot like this one recently. It discussed time-based rates. The utility company is offering 4 different plans based on how much energy you use and when you use it. Starting December 1st, it's mandatory for all Evergy users to opt in.
By shifting from peak times to maybe a little bit later in the evening or setting it to run a little bit earlier, the cost of energy during those times is less than if you were to use them during peak times.
So if you'd like to take a closer look at the 4 different plans, we've got that information on our website right now, KMBC.com. You can read about the plans, use a tool to see which plan is best for you based on how much energy you used, and that's based over the last several months. Something to keep in mind is I think a lot of us, especially in the metro, have been using a lot more AC. That's probably jacking up energy costs too.
Yeah, and it's not just the heat, Nick, but it's the humidity too that makes those air conditioners work harder.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed the most, just in my home at least. I don't know about y'all's home, but the temperatures, they haven't been skyrocketing up into the hundreds, but the humidity's just been so high. It's just making it harder to get things cooler because there's so much water vapor in the atmosphere, and that has led to daily and nightly showers and thunderstorms. This morning, no exception. You'll need your rain gear this morning. Scattered storms are likely. This afternoon to this evening, we could see another round of pop-up thunderstorms developing between 4 and 8 o'clock this evening, and then that chance of a thunderstorm will continue overnight into tomorrow morning. And the stormy pattern, it continues through the weekend. Daily and nightly chances of thunderstorms. Perhaps the greatest chance of rain and storms is Saturday night. That includes the potential of some severe weather as well, damaging wind gusts and flash flooding, the main concern. Matt.
All right, Nick, thank you. Back to school is coming up fast. It's about time to stock up on school supplies.
Which is crazy to think, but the good news is you can do that this weekend and save some cash. KMBC 9's Rob Hughes is joining us live this morning with what you need to know about Missouri's tax-free weekend. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning to you, Jamie and Matt. We are here inside the Walmart in Blue Springs. As you take a look behind us, all of these school supplies here qualify for the Missouri tax-free weekend. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. It includes all the back-to-school items, as well as all apparel, some laptops, diapers, and wipes. All are included. And when you're at the Walmart, you're going to notice there's several signs that have a QR code on them. All you got to do is scan that QR code, and then it shows you a list of the back-to-school items for all the schools in the Kansas City area. And Walmart has a lot of different items that are going to be the same prices as last year, all of them under $13. And by the way, teachers can also register for items for their classrooms, allowing anyone to buy items for the classroom if you want to help out a teacher to educate their students. And the Blue Springs manager here had told us yesterday that it is important that they save families money.
We have to be able to have families come in here and shop, and we wanted as a company to keep our prices the same so that they could buy the other things that were necessary and not have to spend a lot of money on the core items that they need for back to school.
Also want to let you know something Walmart's doing is called Century Shopping Hours. It's on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. This is a calmer environment for people who might live with sensitivities. They do things like they turn down the lights and the screens go black, and also they turn off the music. We're live in Blue Springs. I'm Rob Hughes, KMBC 9 News.
Rob, thanks. School districts in Kansas and Missouri have back-to-school battles on their hands before kids even step off the buses. KMBC 9's Cody Holyoke is getting answers this week on Heart of the Matter.
Students heading back to school may notice some issues in classrooms when they get there. Administrators at school districts across the metro are working to shore up staffing shortages, from paraprofessional jobs to bus drivers to teachers. Programs are in the works in Kansas and Missouri to grow and retain the teacher pool, but educators are the first to admit they need to better sell the benefits of their profession.
Sometimes we're our worst enemies in terms of not, kind of telling kids, don't go to education. It is an honorable and a valuable vocation, and we just got to get that message out.
This week, we'll get a progress report from more than 30 local school districts as administrators walk us through the challenges ahead of the new year. We'll also look at the priorities of the new Kansas City, Missouri City Council as leaders new to the job work to curb crime and housing problems here at home. And we mark a major milestone, KMBC's 70th anniversary. I sit down with our own Larry Moore to look back on a living legacy that continues to this day. It's all this week on Heart of the Matter. We'll see you then.
Don't miss this week's edition of Heart of the Matter. It airs Sunday morning at 11 o'clock right here on Channel 9.
Kansas City leaders are working to make a popular trail even better.
And next on First News, the improvements coming to the trolley track trail sometime next year.
And a 14-year-old who's already out of high school making a name for herself in the world of medicine, the field of research she's dedicating her teen years to.
I'll show you the greatest potential of damaging wind and flash flooding over the weekend and help you find the dry times to plan your outside events coming up.
Today is an impact day. Stay connected with First Alert Weather. KMBC 9 News, leading the way.
Welcome back, 6:44 now on your Friday morning. Today is another First Alert Weather Impact Day. Live look outside at the clouds this morning. We can basically see the humidity outside. Nick will show us when 2 waves of showers and thunderstorms will keep you inside and how this rain is going to affect that oppressive humidity as well. And now Johnny Rollins has a look at our morning drive.
Hey, good morning, Matt. We're looking pretty good this morning right now. Not really seeing any major problems, including the southeast corner of the downtown loop. Traffic you see go southbound there a moment ago, well, up until just probably 10 or 15 minutes ago. Those that are in the far left lane taking that ramp from southbound, this is eastbound, technically I-70, but southbound along the loop, making that left turn to eastbound I-70, had that ramp completely closed for a while, still doing some work on the other side of some cones there, some construction trying to get an SUV that was involved in a single vehicle accident there out of there. A lot of flashing lights and everything, but no more delay. Wanted to show you that the earlier slowdown we had that caused about a 10 or 15 minute delay, no longer any kind of a problem. And as you can see, wide open through here. Johnny Rollins, News Chopper 9, back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Johnny. And we do have a new accident report that just popped up on our First Alert traffic map. This is a live look right now. I-49 at Hickman Mills Road. It's going to be just before Blue Ridge Boulevard. The right lane is closed in the northbound run because of that accident. So right now, traffic is pretty slow. It's backed up to Grandview. Of course, we'll keep you posted as soon as we learn more about this wreck.
Well, a local recycling company says it's seen record amounts of debris after recent storms. Missouri Organic turns trees, branches, and leaves into mulch. People have dropped off around 5,000 tons of brush over the last 2 weeks. That's the most workers have seen since the ice storms of 2002.
So ultimately, I think it feels good to know that it's not just going to go into the landfill and be buried, and then who knows what happens from there.
If you still need to get rid of your storm debris, there are several drop-off sites across the metro. You can go to MissouriOrganic.com and click on locations to learn more. Big improvements are coming to a popular trail in Kansas City. It'll connect the Gillum Cycle Track to the Trolley Track Trail.
And when it's finished, this trail is going to be 10.5 miles long. Right now, crews are trying to figure out how to connect 2 blocks where the path is missing. This is over by Brookside and Myron Boulevards. There's 2 options. You can get rid of parking or get rid of tennis courts. Community members gave their input at an open house yesterday. City leaders say that a lot of people are interested in this part of the trail.
So we understand how important this connection is, not just 63rd Street, but also further south and also further north. We're willing to do whatever. We're kind of an open book right now, and we're just really looking for the feedback from this community to provide guidance.
And the city says it'll finalize the plan by the end of the year, with construction set to start in 2024. If you'd like to give your input on the project, we've got a link on our website, KNBC.com.
Well, KNBC is working to keep you safe by passing along 2 recalls this morning. First, Hyundai and Kia recalling 92,000 vehicles. An electric controller and an oil pump can overheat and cause fires. The recall involves all the vehicles on your screen. It also applies to the Kia Soul, Sporta, and Celto. If you have one of these cars, park them outside until you can get it to a dealership. BMW recalling some of its 7 Series sedans. The controls that activate the hazard lights and windshield defrosters might not function properly. The company says it's not aware of any accidents or injuries related to that problem, but dealers will fix the problem for free.
Several local school districts and communities are hosting back-to-school fairs this weekend, including the city of Lawrence. They are putting on a safety fair with local law enforcement, and the fire department and emergency departments will be hosting as well. This will be at South Park from 9 to 1 tomorrow. The park will be filled with first responder vehicles, games, activities, public health resources, and more. School supply donations are encouraged. This is all for the Cram the Cruiser competition. In Jackson County, the Community Services League is working to make back to school extra special for kids in need. They're hosting back to school fairs all month long. Tomorrow's will be in Independence in the Community of Christ Auditorium parking lot. Kids do need to be registered to get supplies, backpacks, and more. But if you weren't able to do that and you still need some help, you can always call the United Way at 211.
Well, at just 14 years old, a child prodigy is doing potentially life-saving cancer research already. Elena Anale graduated high school at just 12 years old. She spent the last few months interning at the University of Maryland School of Medicine lab, studying natural drug treatments for ovarian cancer. The internship also focuses on diversity in the field of cancer research, which is something Elena is passionate about. She actually started her own foundation called Brown STEM Girl to inspire others.
I'm trying to accomplish something, and I just want other girls, to aspire to do what they love, especially girls of color.
It's really inspirational to see someone who is focused and ready to go out and work hard to accomplish their dreams.
More than a year ago, at age 13, Alina became the first and the youngest Black person to ever be accepted into medical school. She plans to get her PhD after graduating college. So impressive to see. Okay, up at Chiefs training camp, Travis Kelce has been working to help the next generation of tight ends.
Kelce is one of the most feared receivers in all of football, regardless of position. At training camp, he's one of the leaders when it comes to both catching and blocking. Teammate says that his success makes them want to work even harder.
I learn a lot from him because, I think he's the greatest tight end to ever play the game. And he's an excellent mentor. I mean, he's an even better friend, too. So watching him out here picking his brain is always good. But, Travis Kelce for a reason. I'm just trying to do my job to the best of my ability and, not try to do too much more than that.
Today up at training camp, fans will get a chance to get autographs from Chiefs quarterbacks and running backs. Practice begins at 9:15 this morning.
And I can only imagine trying to get out there and practice in what just feels like a wall of humidity.
Yeah, I mean, I stepped out my door this morning and it felt like I was walking into a brick wall instead of outside.
Yeah, it might be a wall of rain up there in St. Joe this morning. There's this big area of rain and thunderstorms here north of I-70 coming into north central and northeastern Kansas. We have scattered downpours out ahead of that across Kansas City and tons of humidity. I mean, like they said, the air is thick with it this morning. Scattered showers, occasionally some lightning strikes with this cluster of downpours here south of Kansas City, and then a band of thunderstorms that runs from about Richmond to Lexington. And some of those lightning bolts are falling pretty far outside the downpours. All across 435, the metro right now, it's dry, but it just feels so humid and damp. So here's that big area of rain and thunderstorms just moving eastward toward Topeka and Hiawatha. And you can see those scattered downpours out ahead of that here in Kansas City. So between 8 and 10 o'clock, we could see the rain and storms pick up here in the metro. It's a morning for an umbrella, that's for sure. 74 degrees. The visibility is reduced because of the amount of water vapor in the area. You have low clouds and fog and a light east breeze. 12-hour forecast for today in Kansas City. Scattered downpours and thunderstorms are likely to impact the drive and any of your outdoor plans through 11 o'clock this morning. And then thunderstorms redeveloping between 4 and 8 o'clock this evening. Any storms today may produce strong winds, small hail, and locally heavy rain, which could lead to flash flooding. And of course, if we get that rain, the renewed rain, it's going to add to the humidity, which will keep those heat index values around 100 degrees south of the metro. Garnett, Lacey, Butler, Clinton, Warsaw, no relief there. Even across northern Missouri, where the heat index values will remain below 90, it's going to feel oppressively humid. This stormy pattern will continue through the weekend, but I want to highlight one time in particular, Saturday evening and Saturday night. There is the chance of a few severe thunderstorms, damaging wind and flash flooding, the main concern. But I got to tell you, that severe risk is going to change day to day. So please check the forecast often over the weekend with First Alert meteorologist Katie Horner and Pete Grigsby. There could be changes to that severe risk. One change that I know we'll all welcome, lower humidity. That's on the way for the start of next week with highs in the 70s and 80s on Monday and Tuesday.
Former President Donald Trump has pleaded not guilty to trying to overturn the results of his 2020 election loss. He's facing 4 federal charges accusing him of orchestrating an attempt to block the peaceful transfer of presidential power. Good Morning America will explain the prison time he's facing and the next steps in the case. That's next here on Channel 9.
And here at home, parents and students can take advantage of some back-to-school savings. Missouri's tax-free weekend officially kicks off this morning. When First News continues next on KCWE, we'll share some tips to help you get the most bang for your buck on those back-to-school necessities.
Today's First Alert Weather Impact Day. We just continue with this stormy weather pattern through the weekend. You'll need your umbrella this morning and possibly later today. As far as the severe risk goes, some of the storms today could produce some strong winds, small hail, flooding rains. Then over the weekend, that severe risk does increase for Saturday evening, Saturday night. But this type of pattern, we can get pop-up surprises. So just remain alert. Have the KMBC app on your phone in case there's any surprise warnings issued. You'll get them.
And we should be used to this by now.
I mean, 6-7 days in a row now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for joining us. GMA is next, and First News continues on KCWE.